Yo, what to do? It's your boy Trap Moody here with yet another review. Today we've got a big one. Don't make that two big ones. Today we've got the Skeletron Roboskull Mark II and the Mark II Special Edition. Big shout out to Skeletron, Mark Byrne, and Ben Conway for getting these through pretty quickly, pretty nifty, all the way from Jersey out here to SoCal so we can spread some review detail love. We're going to break it all down. We're going to go through the 8 modes, go through all the details, and then we'll go through a much larger deep dive when we have Skeletron on a future live stream. Hopefully a lot sooner with Black Genghis. We'll do that. But in the meantime, without further ado, let's break down the Roboskull Mark II. But the first thing I actually want to show you guys is Red Shadows Laboratories top secret manual. This is super sick. These guys didn't spare any detail on any of this. I mean, the manual isn't some cheap one. It's got the sweet logo, super dope art in there, cool graphs, just to give you a better idea. And actually, this is extremely helpful with all this design, just to give you a better idea, since you do have to assemble it. And you have this. This can be tricky because, as it says there, note that each wing is left or right side specific, but it's the driver's left. So if you see left, it's not your point of view left. It's not this left, it's this left. So just be tuned on that if you have any differences on yours. But it can be tricky from this angle. It's a little off, but you know, once you get through it, you'll figure it out. Definitely look at the back of the box, which will show, and definitely look at this graph, and that'll kind of show you the differences in painstaking detail. They go through everything, just really great, and go through all the accessories, all that. And there isn't a whole lot of detail. It doesn't exactly tell you what these things are, but it's much better detail than your standard big company instructions, that's for sure. So obviously the first thing we're going to talk about is the plastic itself, and it just feels real good. Now it's a very hard shell plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like something you printed out at home. It's really easy to assemble, and we'll show you that, of course, in the unboxing portion of the special edition, but just kind of getting the feel. It does have a little bit of two-tone red. So here we've got the titanium alloy reinforced blast shield. All the different detail, the rivets, it's really good. It definitely has the classic toy feel from the Palatoy 80s version. But man, is this thing a sign of doom or what? And everything on the Roboskull has a purpose. I mean, they must have been fans of the RZA and Raekwon, just like we are at A Toy Kind of Mood, because they called this the Woo. Diving deeper into the wings, we've got the S4 ion cannons with the blast effects, and you just spin those around. Anytime you get anything here, everything's going to feel hard, ratchet. It's going to feel fragile, but after a while, it's got hard play, as you can see. It's not perfectly stellar, but it would break off if it didn't have a little bit of touch of gumminess at the end. You see it lights up really well. And I definitely dig all the detail here, all the nice shading, all the blacks into the teeth. Dude obviously hasn't seen a dentist in a little bit, but look at it, even the nostril. Yep, you're picking your nose while you're watching this, so don't judge. You got the carbide reinforced polycompound body. So it's just got a different shade of red, which absolutely works perfect because then this reflects the armor there. All right, and from the evader configuration to the front X-Attack, it's obvious why this is the coolest display, because it's like an X-Wing. It's an X-Attack mode. Taking a look at the rear, how amazing is all this detail? I mean, just on the pod alone, it's an accessory, we'll go over that, but really nice job here. Making this look so illuminated, like a thruster light and everything like that. Really dope. Got all these liquid oxygen tanks. They don't come out, but they're just part of the process. You can see the added detail there. The paint is nice and metallic. You get hints of like a more copper, silvery, and then just different reflective colors there with the red stripes. Onto that primary thrust engine that we've got there. Looking at the bottom and the rear, you get the Terra Nova cannons here, and we'll go through that functionality in a bit. Then you get the Tom D's, the tertiary thrusters. Love that they call this the Proctor device. Freaking brilliant. And this is the only stand we got here, but as you can see on the screen, we've got a deluxe stand that should be on the way for many of us. The wings are so detailed that we have an exhaust vent on them. It's crazy. It's got like this clear steps or like just a different shade, or I don't even know if that's just maybe the lighting, but it looks so good. All right, so how freaking amazing does this look just from the back? It looks like everything's illuminated. It's not. It's just different style decal paint right here. It looks terrific. I don't even know if these are decals or stickers. It's hard to get a feel of them. You feel almost like they're painted in. It's got an incredible wash with the lighting. Everything is just perfectly seamless. You get the secondary thrusters illuminating all this different crazy detail. You get the marks on the Terra Nora proton cannon, so just super sick. Another cool 80s reference, we've got the Wham, except that this time it means Wolfgang armament mounting. You could probably add more weapons or more deluxe stuff. Checking this out, we get the V landing Sabaton. You got the M Cloud atmospheric sensor. So yes, there's all kind of crazy, wacky detail. Let's take a closer look at that. Just insane, the amount of detail. They didn't just throw this together. You got all kind of decals and coding. I really want to know what the story is behind all this stuff too. That's going to be a super fun conversation. Like, why does this say this alien language? Like, help us out. Come on, Ben, break it down. And then this hyperwing is made of graphene composite that they call. It's like a really great, clear, cloudy texture. And actually, here's a cool shot of the top facing us. And thanks to those studies, those super thermal output Type 2 yttrium laser cannons, you could actually use it as an assistant for the wing's landings. And here's another look at the canopy side coming through. We talked about those studies, so just here's some better detail. Honestly, they're kind of underwhelming. I don't know, like they just fold down, but they're just an additional accessory. They can fold down individually, except that cap flies off. It's kind of funny because in the instruction it tells you how to put them together, and they already were on there, but that's probably a good thing since they seem to be kind of flying off as you go down individually. So I guess this stand helps it. If you want to keep it the same, you could fold it down. But, you know, they're fine. They're cool. Detail is really good, but you're probably an afterthought. The canopy functionality is pretty good. This pops off. You just kind of squeeze it, pops it off. There's no instructions for that or anything. And look who's in there. Awesome Baroness. Take a look inside. You get all these different communicators, comm links, and there's extra stickers there to replace it, I guess. And then finally, the most genius thing Skeletron probably came up with, the best idea of all, is being able to play this 112 or 118 scale. You just get to pull the canopy out, and I left it loose, but it pops in pretty good. And like I said, at first, everything was real hard, and I was like, man, is that really just like stagnant? It doesn't move, but no, the joysticks move around on a 360 ball hinge, which is absolutely incredible. Let's see here, get some better lighting. Yeah, and you get all this rigid detail, makes the seat look a little more comfortable, but yeah, you got this nice shiny metallic silver there. You got this detail on the back, canister. They didn't mess around, did they? Got a bright silver, more of a bronzy. And we'll give you a better look at the stick control there. A little bit of a, like I said, this is like a decal or a paint. I'm gonna have to ask. Feels like it's just a perfectly placed hard decal that's not coming out, but it's pretty damn sweet. And these actually pop out. I didn't do that on purpose, but that was good because I really pushed on it. And it shows the flexibility, but so you could see, you could just, so much flexibility there. You don't have to worry about no harness. They don't care about safety up in the red shadows, but that's the 112 seat. All right, modern fans, the wish you've always wanted. You've got your dual seating here, same deal with the sticks, but you got the back-to-back chin, you got the crew helmet nod, side stick controls, and the dynamic flight platform, which I'll show you what that does in a little sec. But yeah, same thing, except you got a two-seater. But you can adjust this to your liking, obviously. Have them posed however you want. The seats don't move at all, but thankfully the joysticks do. Let's get that in there. And you clamp right down and they sit right in. Boom. Alright, we're going to take you handheld inside the cockpit, give you an idea of what everything looks like. Some boobity beeps, maps, gears. Inside the hull, get that bright metallic there. Got more gears, boopity beeps. I don't know if we can even see this. And there's that code again. We're gonna have to ask Ben about that. And there's the mat, the floor. Those are the pegs that the seating goes in. Some more room, and it just matches on the opposite side. All right, let's take a look at the chin, the jaw, the chin gun. You assemble it. All right, so when it's snapped here, the mouth can't be open once it's fully down. So you want to come down here and pull that away. As you can see, it's got a ratchet there. You're able to thrust around. This thing spins 360. Like I said, all the joints are nice and stiff. And then that's when you can pop open the jaw. Funny thing is, you get all 5 missiles. You can't close the jaw. So you push those in. Then you get this cosmic shock valve lightning. You want to squeeze in there. And the best thing to do is spin it in there. Not just push it, because you could break something. I've yet to do that. And I got to say, this is the most I played with a toy before doing a review. I spent, I don't know, 2 hours plus playing with this thing before even bothering to do a review. And everything's looking good. The one thing about the shock valve is you can't get it straight. It actually aims down, but that might be on purpose since it's attacking foes that are on the ground. So it wouldn't attack Baroness. She's the pilot, but just to give you an idea, it goes down on an angle no matter which way you spin it. So you're going to want to nicely spin that around. You don't want to just pop it out just in case. I was going to say you could actually play the missile like, there we go, awesome. Boom, boom, boom. Told you I was playing. As far as detail on these missiles, there's not much. They're just yellow little missiles, but since you can attack people watching the review, I'd say they're home runs. And so with some ladies and some men. All right, now one thing that's a little confusing to me is that this chin gun can perform as a glider, but it's stuck in the ball hinge, and if I push this in, I want to pop it out, but it's not exactly coming out, and I'm afraid something's going to happen. But it looks like it would pop out if I push this in, but it's not exactly doing that. But it's supposed to have another purpose, so maybe we'll save it for the special edition just to be careful, and then I can talk with the creators or maybe some other great reviewer better than me will be able to show it and snap it off. But as of now, yeah, I'm not getting it out. It's not happening. Let me know in the comments what you think. We can't forget the transport pod, of course. The karyoplasm equilibrium receptacle here. But we popped this out. It's got this gem panel, and you can see what's inside. Look at all the rad detail on this. You get all this nice shiny bronze. Even underneath, they just didn't mess around. Very cool. Got the logo back there. And then I did have one small issue with this, but you pop that open, no problem. And there's the Skeletrons, which many of us have gotten earlier, messed around with, messed with our Joes. So we've got peg holes in there. I don't know why. So none of these holes you see in the Skeletrons actually pop in there. At least I couldn't do it. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't go in. The back of the head has a hole. I don't think that fits there. Oh wait, it does. There we go. There's the answer. The back of the head. Boom, I couldn't do it before, but there we go. That's why they're laying flat. I did have a problem because the door won't close if you get them in this configuration, which I thought would be cool to have them, but it makes sense. They're not deployed yet, so that small little peg hole in the back of the skull of these Skeletrons pop in there, and wow, they stay in now. And there we go. I'm shaking it, and boom. Close that. Oh, that looks awesome. You can also fit a 4-inch figure in there. So, very neat. You know, look in there. Slide that. And slide right in. Fits inside. Here we go. In case anybody in the world was wondering, yes, the Red Skull can kinda fit on the seat. Just don't look that way. But for weird circumstances like this, I did wish that the cockpit went open all the way. It only goes on like a 180-degree angle almost, maybe a little more, 200 degrees. But now it makes it really difficult to get the figure in. Maybe you just get the seat in first. That ab crunch is fine, but not good enough. Yeah, and I don't know where his gripping hand is, but yeah, this is not easy. Well, it took a little bit of work, but I did get the Red Skull into the Roboskull. There are other versions of Red Skull where he's not wearing a crazy jacket, or you could just cut that off if you really wanted to, but we got it. Lest we forget the eyes, you got these Kelting rotary guns. And you'll need to work this around because I think just from the factory there's a little bit of stiff paint, but I was able to get it in snug. And it looks really great right there. And they pop out really easily, but it does take some work to eventually get them in. No problem. Then we got these bombs, really awesome looking glow-eyed bombs. Pull that in, look at the glow on that. That's terrific. There's both rotary cannons, both glowy bombs. And you've got these like little pegs, maybe just to fill that hole with a dot. And I'm afraid if I put those in, I'm never going to get it out. So I'll let some other reviewer do it. And here you got the two flame bursts. You might have to move them around to get them to be perpendicular with each other, but that's pretty good. And then you could throw the bomb on the end, which we'll do right here. And it clips right on, and it feels really snug on there. Like I said, nothing's gummy, nothing's too stiff. Gives you some flexibility, and boom, really cool. Let's see how it looks with both. Yeah. Googly eyes, love it. In case you're wondering, these small little rockets don't fit inside here. They're too loose. But crazily enough, the breath of death fits in the eye. One thing I forgot to mention, these like Cthulhu looking, I don't know, like the detail on it is really cool. It's really garish. It goes right through the jaw, right through the teeth. Like extended fangs. Man, look at the detail on this thing. Alright, before we dig into the special edition, let's check out the functionality of the wings. I said these spin around. They feel like really hard ratchets at first. It almost gonna feel like it doesn't even move. But they do. Eventually they'll be really sturdy. You can get them configured however you want. Blast mode, flight mode. Get them in X-Wing mode. The choice is yours, mate. Oh yeah, throw your Crimson Moon, Red Shadows figures, and you're gonna have a blast. We just need a Jackal Destro. Sure, you customizers got that covered. But before we go all Whiskey Haven on the Roboskull Mark II, we do have a special edition. And many of you have been getting that one first, as this one is just shipping by the end of this week. But here it is in its full Aztecian, Mayan Aztecian glory. And there are some significant differences. We've got this whole like horn piece. This is perfectly, just love the detail with the white stripe going down. And yeah, it's like a Seminole or something, right? So Pretty badass. Yeah, in USC color. Sorry about that. But and then on the top, everything's the same. Of course, we'll do a comparison up close. This vent has yellow paint in that, so that's a nice touch. It's white stripe here, white pointy stripe. And the jaw and the teeth and the jaws all have the yellow marked down. This is the one I actually backed in the backer kit. So just some assembly notes. Before you can even pull the jaw down, you gotta pull this ratchet down. That releases the jaw. And voila. So before we dive too deep into the SE assembly, I did want to show you this bonus speeder assembly. And you got the Crimson Baroness looking snazzy, and you get the, oh man, this speeder looks even cooler because of the Aztecian design, and you get the yellow stripes there. But yeah, the chin gun can be a speeder as well, so if you got both editions, might think about that. So that's really cool. So yeah, you just take the little plastic whoosh stand, you pop that on the bottom, and then the seat just pops right on. Really easy, doesn't have to be ratcheted in or anything. Pop that one off. Don't worry, didn't forget about you 4-inchers. Well, we got our his tank drivers there. It'll look so much cooler once you get the Blood Wolf on there, and the Geyer Wolf and the Red Weasel. So as promised, a quick assembly. See how it says right? It's going to be the driver's right, and then you've got a slit there. So once you snap it in, you snap it in. The instructions clearly say don't take it back out. Boom, we're in. We're in it to win it. Thankfully, it's matched on both sides. Make sure these vents are at the bottom. And just a heads up, every accessory is the same except for the dragon breath. So you still have the glowy eyes. You still have the same level of blast effects. Same Skeledrones. And same exact transpo unit. So one thing is, should I lose the land speeder for good? Because I think once this is in, this is in. And it's a bonus assembly, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it out of there. I don't know if there's any other way. But, I mean, the chin gun has to go there, really. Or can it go here? It would have been cool if it could temporarily fit there, because once it goes in here, I think that might be it. I can't use it as a speeder anymore. Interesting. And obviously, one of the chief main differences here was the Breath of Death. But what I didn't like, and I told Ben this at Joe Fest, was it's a lot of yellow. I thought the blue would have popped out better. Just a heads up, both manuals are exactly the same. There's an extra set of decals, and each one is exactly the same. Alright, and then we have these amazing glow-in-the-dark decals, courtesy of Troy McKee from Callsign Longbow. Shout to Troy. Good ass dude. And here we are. We have the glowing stickers. Alright, so side by side with this Roboskull, obviously the Aztec Mayan look on the left. And actually, if you look, we got the Skeletron logo right under the center console shielding. We've got more of an old, almost like a P Palatoy-ish logo. You can let me know what that is in the comments. Then you got the yellow stripe on the wing compared to the red. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. You got more yellow on the left. It really just pops the wings compared to the plainness of the side. More classic styling, but do have more inscription there, more detail. This is just the yellow line. Looks like everything here is almost the same, but then you got a sticker here. And let's go close in. We've got more of that mumbo jumbo. But yeah, it's more about extra sticker decals, maybe some paint, logo to coloring. I just prefer this one. What about you? Let me know which one you like in the comments. Do you like your special edition more? Or do you dig the OG? And just a quick look at the rear there. Pretty much the same deal. Get the yellow instead of the black. Closer look at the sides of the faces. Profile view. And there's how the special edition looks with the blue vapor, the blue breath of death, and then the regular with the yellow. I kind of like this configuration because the blue really pops amongst all the yellow there. And then the yellow just looks like fire. It doesn't pop as much because the blue really helps it. And I loved what Fixer did. Shout out to Chris Johnston, man. Chris Johnston, Dreadnought Ryan, those guys really got me into Skeletron and Roboskull just a few years ago. Welcome to the Terradrome. When they first announced this thing as a Kickstarter. And yeah, speaking of Chris, Mr. Fixer, we've got your 118 figs. Now I'm not going to review the figures. I'm going to keep them carded, but I did want to show what the O-ring figs look like. Of course, these were sent out early. It was a special edition made just for Joe Fest. And you can see the different card backs there with the Skeletron fig and the Wolf Trooper. And then we've got our Blood Wolf. Of course, this is Bob Brecken. Look at that. Awesome. This thing is amazing. I don't do 118, but man, they're making it real tough on me. I'm not going to lie. Look at the cool artwork. Doug Hart. I don't know if he did all of them. I know he did the O-rings, but we got, is that Mark? We're a Red Weasel. And here's just the back of the package. Of course, you got your profile. Love the art, everything else that's coming out. I know the Jungle Wolf Troopers are out. I didn't get one, of course, because I'm only doing 112, so waiting on my 112 scale. I'm going to review those when we get those in. Maybe do a little ranking, whatever. But there's just a look at those. I'm sure there's going to be a million other reviews reviewing your 118 figs and showing those in the cockpit. So looking forward to that. All right. And then I didn't forget about the packaging. They did a hell of a job. It's too late where I'm at. If you could tell, I'm kind of whispering in this review. It's 2 in the morning where I'm at. And people in the house got to work. But we get this hard, like, manila cardboard folder thing going on here. So, in addition to instructions and decals, has this amazing chart. The secrets are out. And what's cool is this is the Mark II. Can't really fit it all on the screen right now. I'll try to pull back on it. It's got all the different configurations, all the details we went over, and then boom, they added a special edition version with the yellow. It says upgraded, and I agree. Quick look at the regular Roboskull Mark II packaging. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal. Look on the side, you got a graph there with the logo. Just banging. This packaging is five whiskeys for sure. The Doug Hart art on the side. He may have done the front as well. Not exactly sure. But yeah, this packaging is awesome. And it's just the same for a Mark II special edition, except I forgot to show you this on the top. But it looks cooler in yellow. Prisoner transport, rear blast cannon, 3 flight modes. I think there's like 8 in my opinion. Hidden weapon systems. Seats for 4-inch figures, 6-inch figures. Eye socket weaponry, which we showed you. And then you got the yellow on the side, which is cool. And then all the stuff on the back. Same stuff, just in yellow. And boom, we got the Red Weasel there instead of the Blood Wolf. You got the Roboskull next to the his tank. Then the side view, you get the Roboskull next to the Vamp. Quick Kick doesn't seem to care, and he's eating a fudgy bar. And then finally, of course, we get the Roboskull with the Dragonfly. This is a perfect homage to the Palitoy Roboskull that the King of the Red Shadows, Bob Brecken, created back in the Disney. The functionality is absolutely terrific. The ratchet joints on the wings are incredibly awesome. The plastic feels really good and sturdy. The paint job is tremendous. But I'm going to go 4.75-5 for the special edition. So that's going to do it for the twin Roboskull review courtesy of Skeletron. If you dug the video, leave a like. and comment. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. But for now, for a toy kind of mood, I'm Moody. I'll catch you in the toy aisle or at skeletron.com.